And we are live. We are live. Welcome, everybody. We are Sunday, March 3rd at 15 to 4 p.m. 3:45. I'm Pierre Aberge, the founder of this channel, and on this channel we are looking at Tesla stock and many other stocks from a technical analysis perspective. We usually do these lives only for my members on the channel, so you can become a member on the channel. But once a month we are doing it free for everybody to get myself known a little bit. So what we are going to do today is I have a big watch list right there on the right. We are going to take a look at all of these stocks, and we are also going to talk about the philosophy on this channel, the philosophy of investing and trading, the philosophy on how to make money in the stock market. So I've been on the stock market for the past almost 40 years. I hate to admit it. Started very young, made a lot of mistakes for a long time, and now those mistakes are behind me, and I have some solid principles upon which to decide if we want to invest in something or not. So what we are going to do today is first start with Tesla, and we are also going to take a look at the weekly chart of some of our stock, because with technical analysis we can look at any time frame. We can apply technical analysis to any time frame. So we are going to be looking at the weekly time frame, which is giving us a longer term overview of the patterns that are at play with the stocks that we are looking at. So let's first start with Tesla. Everybody loves this stock right here, and for the new people right here, you are going to notice by watching this that I have a lot of lines. Those lines show the frontiers between the tug of war between the buyers and sellers. You know, the markets are driven by buyers and sellers. If we have more buyers and they buy more, then they are going to push the price up. And then conversely, when the sellers come in and there's more sellers and there are more sellers, then they are going to push the price down. So there's always a back and forth between the buyers and sellers, and we can represent those backs and forths. We can represent them, and we can delineate them with some lines. So this is what I'm doing on this channel. I am looking at the frontiers where the sellers come in force and when the buyers come in force also. And using that knowledge, we can identify where prices are stabilized. And when we identify that there's a stabilization at some point, then we can also identify the frontier upon which the stabilization is over, is done, is finished. And once we see that the stock price breaks those frontier lines, then this is telling us that there's an imbalance between the buyers and sellers, sometimes in the favor of the sellers, sometimes in the favor of the buyers. But that information is very important because we can spot new trends very quickly. Very quickly. We spot it on the day it happens. On the day it happens. I do a video every single day, every weekday. So we know exactly when it happens, and then it's up to you if you want to get in or not. I'm not telling you precisely that you should buy something. This is financial advice, but I am telling you that based on the tug of war between the buyers and sellers, based on the breaking of those frontiers, blah, 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 that there's a new trend that is starting. then you can decide to buy in or not. So, and for people that are new to technical analysis, it might be surprising for you to see that, you know, this stuff really works. This stuff really works. We don't predict the future, but we identify and we clarify the present. Stocks that move $1 one way, $1 another way, when a stock is worth $100, this is just noise. So we can identify what is noise, and we can identify what is signal, what is a significant movement that is bigger than noise. And this again is important because it's going to tell us if we want to buy or if we want to sell. And just looking at this Tesla chart, if we take a look at what Tesla was like in 2020, you can see that in 2020 it started to go higher and higher right here. The bottom was pretty much March 2020. It started to go higher and higher. And as soon as we had 2 points right here, we could draw that line. And that line, how long did that line last? How long? Take a guess. A month, 6 months, a year, 2 years, 10 years? Let's look. So it started March 2020. And this is this green line right here. This is the green line. We went away from it. So the stock followed it pretty precisely for 1, 2, 3, 4 months. And then Tesla decided to go away from that line and go away from it. That's fine. That's fine. That line is still valid. This line represents the point at which, or the price at which, the buyers come in and push the stock up. But the stock was already pretty up, so the line was useless in the sense that it was not pushing the stock back up. But look at this right here. May 2021, so a year and a couple of months later, boom, the stock touched that line again. And look at how the stock was using that line to stay up. And then the stock went away again. It went away. Then came back onto the line, boom, right here, January 2022. So 2 years after, it was still in play. Then we crossed it the first time on February 22nd, 2022. Boom. So the point I'm making here is that lines are very useful and they can be good for years. They can be good for years and they can guide us for years. If we see that Tesla stock is coming back down, but it's still above the line, we can rest easy. It has not crossed the line, and we can decide, well, if it crosses the line, then I'm gonna sell. That's it, that's all. So I took a ride, and that ride was at a certain pace. You know, if you calculate the stock price right here at this point, and the stock price right here at this point divided by the time here, you have a rate of ascent. You have a rate of ascent for Tesla. So I don't want to make the calculation here, but you know, the rate of ascent is X. So you know that on average, Tesla is increasing in price by this amount. And this lasted for 2 years. Yes, it went away, but on average, it stayed exactly at that rate. So these lines are very useful. These lines are not like tea leaves, you know, at the bottom of a cup of tea. This is not what we are talking about here. We are talking about the stock price, the stock market, a market. You know, you could draw a price chart for a subwoofer you find on marketplace. You can draw that price chart and you can see the trends. You know, is the price pretty stable? Is the price going up? Is the price going down? Boom, that's it. And this has been very useful for us. And let me tell you first that well, some people might know, but Tesla has been into a downtrend since November 2021. since November 2021, where we hit the peak of $1,200 at the time, but since then the stock has split. But you know, Tesla has been into a big downtrend for the last 2 years. 2 years, you know, going down like this. So Tesla stock is going down. It is into a downtrend. Does it mean that we cannot make money? No, it does not mean that we cannot make money. It just means that this is not, you know, Tesla is not going tomorrow to $700 because it is into a downtrend. But the definition of a downtrend means that the frontiers of the price movement are into a downtrend. And as I will show you in a second, within that downward channel, and I'm going to go into the chat to look at your comments in a few minutes. So it means that the stock price has these two big lines as frontiers, but in between, the stock can do what it wants in between. And this means that we could catch upswings when there are upswings, and we can catch downswings when they are downswings. So we can still make money when a stock is into a downtrend. But this is more akin to trading than investing. You know, an investor believes into a company. He believes, you know, Tesla is a great company. I'm going to put my money in there and I'm going to take it out in 10 years. So this is one kind of way to make money in the stock market. You need to pick a great company, and then you let it ride. You let it ride, and eventually you hope that you are able to sell at some point that is higher than when you bought. That's one way of doing it. This is not the most optimal way, because if you buy and hold Tesla, I'm sad to say, but you own Tesla at $1,200 pre-split. Right now, it is an equivalent of $400, let's say. So you own Tesla at $400, and right now it's at $200. So your value got cut in half. So now, in order to get back to $400, you need Tesla at 200 right now to make 100% return. You need 100% return to fix the 50% paper loss that you got. So it's fine if you want to do that. It's fine if you want to do that. On this channel, we don't want to do that. We want to get out of a stock when it starts to go down. When the trend changes, we want to get out and keep our money and let it go down. And then once it starts to go back up after stopping going down, that's very important, then we can get back in with that amount of money that we buy low, sell high. So we sold high and we are buying low again, and we can get obviously more shares with the same amount of money that we took out. We can buy more shares when it is down, and rinse and repeat. So yeah, this is how we have been doing it. And yeah, so on this move down, we have identified that these are the buy signals that we have received since I started collecting them. I have videos in the past that you can go. I have 1500 video for 1500 days of trading. But these are the buy signals that we have identified in 2023. Where yeah, there you go. And we have some buy signal right now. Well, we had some buy signal last week, and they are still valid. So they are still there. So yeah, I'm gonna just say a little bit more about I'm gonna say a little bit more about the philosophy that we abide by on this channel. So we try to be objective on when we want to buy a stock and not just subjective. We want to be objective, and we have a few rules. You know, we have 3 rules. It's pretty simple. So we need to identify if a stock is into a downward trend. You know, is it going down? Is it going down? And let's take this example right here. So we had a downward trend right here. Right here, boom. You see? It followed this. Boom, 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 boom. It was into a downward trend. When it stopped on February 7th, when it stopped being into that downward trend, we concluded, oh, it's not going down as fast anymore. So the downtrend seems to be over. But what can happen then is that a stock can be stuck into a horizontal trend. We call that a congestion zone. You know, this is a horizontal trend right here. So on February 7th, we said, okay, nice. We have the first criteria before we buy that is completed. We are outside of a downward trend. Boom. Yes. You are going to say, yeah, but you said that there was a big downward trend. There was a big downward trend that started in November 2021. You're right. If you say that, you are smart, you are following. But technical analysis and patterns are kind of fractals. You have patterns within patterns within patterns. So we need to define where we are looking at the downward trend. So I am defining it right here. We were defining it here with the downward trend I just drew and just erased. Boom, this was our downward trend. Because we can still, as I said, we can still have a little bit of a move up within a downward trend. So this is what we are after right now. Just a move up. We are not after, we are not swinging for the bleachers wanting Tesla to be at $700. We are not swinging for that. We know what we swing for. So we are swinging for the downward channel resistance that's here. This is another downward channel. Tesla is into many downward channels. This is why it's not doing great. So this is another one. This is another downward channel. And we know that we can get hit by this one. So currently, the buy signal that we are in right now, you know, we could have gotten in depending on when you saw it happen, but $200 was pretty much where you could get in easily. So $200 until we start hitting this downward trend and this horizontal resistance. So we are talking 217. So we are aiming for a $15 move. 15. That's it. If you feel like this is not enough, you just don't take it. Just don't buy it. That's it. So we are aiming for just a little bit of a swing. Sometimes, it does not happen often, but sometimes when we hit or when we swing for a little bit of a move, you know, another one here, boom. You know, this is, you know, we had one not too long ago. Oh yeah, this is a great example right here. Let me clean this up a bit. This is a great example for exactly what I want to say. So sometimes when we catch a upswing within a downtrend, this is the downtrend again, this is an upswing. When we want to catch an upswing, we catch it here and we stop here because this is where we are hitting the resistance where we have a bunch of sellers that are preventing the stock to go higher. This is what a resistance is. This is the resistance above the price. This is a support below the price. So the resistance above is when we have sellers waiting in line to sell. And here at the bottom, we have buyers waiting in line to buy. So we know that when we catch a swing here, we know that we can get shut down or stopped by the sellers. Boom. But sometimes, and this is where I'm getting at, sometimes Once we have our little bit of a swing, we break free. So this could happen here. We don't know. Nobody knows. Nobody knows where Tesla stock is going to be in April. Nobody knows. I don't know. I know that we have a buy. This is what I like to call a buy impulse. We were no longer going down. We thought that we could get stuck going sideways, but we broke that sideways move at 194.35, and then we decided, okay, oh, this is significant. And we had another move here too. Boom, boom. And we are expecting it to stop at 217, but maybe it's going to continue. We don't know. So personally, I don't mind taking these little bit of a move because, because there's still money to be made here. And if it continues, I have been in at 200 bucks. So let's say that it goes to 238 or whatever. So, hey, why not? Okay. So this was the kind of introduction to the channel to give you a little bit of an impression of what this channel is all about. So now let's get down to business and let's look at what is happening with Tesla, and then I'm going to look at the comments that you made. So Tesla at 202.64. As I said, we broke 194.35. We are into this small bullish channel, and we are looking to get out at 217 or maybe a little bit lower, because this is where this downward resistance is. So, we could be getting out at 215 or 213, depending on when we are going to hit that resistance. And we are going to also take a look at, okay, is it going to hit it and bounce on it or not? Okay, so, let's look at our indicators a little bit. So stochastic is at, we use stochastic, a 21-day stochastic. I need to say this. You can pause this and look at these numbers here. So we are using a 21-day stochastic, and we like to have a confirmation with the 21-day stochastic to confirm to us, or to increase the probability that the move that we have identified is going to last. So so right now the buy signal is still valid on the daily chart, and as I said, during the weekend on Sunday like this with my members, but you are an exception because once a month I do it for free. So we are looking at the weekly chart to get an idea of where stochastic is on the weekly chart, and also some of the lines. But we see here that there is no stochastic. We need stochastic above 60. This is why there is a green area right here. When stochastic goes into the green area, look at it. Look at it on any stock. I'm gonna boom. Look at it on any stock. Look at what's happening to the stock when stochastic is mainly green. See? Green. Okay, it did this. A little bit of a green. Well, it did this. More green. Nice. You have to sell at the right time, but it went up. It went up. If you know that it's gonna go up, or if you know that there are high chances that it is going to go up, this is very, very useful information. If you don't sell, if you never sell, it's your fault. If you buy and hold, then you can hold the stock until you go to the grave at the same time as the stock going to the grave. It's your call. But look at this. Stochastic over 60. Boom. Stochastic over 60. We have those zones. Boom. What can I say? Here. Yeah, a little bit. So this is why we are juxtaposing the technical indicator, the stochastic, onto the Tesla chart. So looking at the weekly chart of Tesla, we see that we don't have stochastic over 60. The weekly chart is still bearish. So this is confirming to us that this is increasing the chance that Tesla won't go anywhere on the daily chart. And this is telling us that the move that we have right here is not going to be a super long move. So this is telling us once you are into profit, maybe you want to stop it here, maybe you want to stop it here, and maybe you want to stop it right now because you just made a couple of bucks per share. It's your call. But this is telling us that currently the weekly pattern in Tesla is still bearish. So even if we have a bullish pattern on the daily chart of Tesla, this is going to be short-lived. So take your profit, take your profit. Boom. If we had the weekly chart bullish while the daily chart is bullish, then it means that the wave, it's really a weekly wave. So this would have told us stay in it. You can sell a little bit if there's a little bit of a caving in, you can sell a little bit. You know, there's no harm in selling and making a profit, but keep some, because after that little bit of a dip that you might see on the daily, this is going to be temporary dip because we have a weekly bullishness and this is going to continue higher. Okay, this is almost a course, my friends. This is almost a course. So, okay, I'm done with Tesla. So let's look at the comments here. Hello, TJ. Good afternoon to you too. What do you think about GitLab? I don't know. I would need to take a look at GitLab, maybe at the end. Do you always buy at the money calls for next week when there is a buy impulse? No, I don't always buy at the money calls. It just depends on the situation, you know. On the 1 hour chart, I tend to buy options because I don't want to risk as much money. Because on the 1 hour chart, the moves are smaller. So I don't want to put as much money into it. But when there's a buy impulse on the daily chart, I tend to buy stock. And then I don't have to worry about expiration date. And this was useful here because, you know, the buy signal happened, then we caved in a little bit, but we stayed above the stop loss area, and then we had another move. And so, you know, this has been 2 weeks and stock has not moved that much. So this was very useful to have stocks in this case. Tesla Terra, you have a new avatar. Hi, what is the bottom green line of the major channel built on? The bottom green line, boy. The bottom green line. I don't know which line you are talking about. There's a bottom right here at 180.38 that was broken briefly, but not closed below. So I don't know if you're talking about that one. There is another one just a little bit lower at 174.89. You know, this was based on this one here. You know, we had a congestion zone right here. So this is the ultimate low at 179.89. This was the ultimate low so far that we are bouncing above. I don't see anybody or wicks, that's why I'm asking. And you're talking about maybe this one at 155.46. So, you know, no, all of my lines are based on previous frontiers of buyers and sellers. You know, these are not arbitrary lines. So there's always a movement in the past that was stopped by these lines. Where's the initial support if we fall below the lows at 108? You're talking to me about the 108, so you're talking about a line in particular at 108? I'm not sure I follow you. Initial support if we fall at 108. So, okay, let me try to answer this. So this is the downward trend, and this is what Tesla is supposed to do. It's supposed to continue down. Unless we break, this is so logical, it's easy. If we don't break this downward line here, if we don't break this line, we are continuing down because the line is going down. It's kind of a judo kind of thing. So this is what Tesla is supposed to do. It's supposed to go down. Tesla is supposed to go down because it is into a downward trend and it has been caving in. Each time it reaches here, it caves in. Except here. And then it came back in. So we are expecting it to cave in again. And again and again and again. Until it stops doing that. So we are watching, we are watching the river that's bouncing between the two shores until there's so much water, then that makes it break into the shore it never broke before. That's it. We are watching the river flow. That's it. So we have the same information as Wall Street and everything in terms of the price chart and the trends and everything. So that's why that's why it's great to do technical analysis, because you are on par with the Wall Street people looking at the chart. You are on par with them in terms of access to price action. This is the price action. We are right smack with them. In terms of the news and everything, then some people might have better news or better information and everything, but here, boom, we have, we can have the price in real time and we see exactly what's happening with the price. So this is great. Okay, don't patterns start from hourly to daily to weekly? So a weekly may not mean much if hourly. Okay, that's a great question. So Tesla Terra, you are right. So right now Tesla is weak. Tesla has no bullish trend on the weekly chart. This is descending. This is descending on the weekly chart. So yes, the day Tesla is going to start and go to 700. Let's say that in the future Tesla releases the Tesla Model 2 and at $25,000 and everyone loves it, or let's say that Tesla releases it next week. This is not true, but let's say that Tesla releases Tesla Model 2 next week. And let's say that this will take the price to $700. The Tesla stock price to $700. So yes, the weekly chart is still bearish. The daily right now is still bullish, and the daily chart is not going to cave in to 217 as I was talking about, because this is a great news. So Tesla won't be caving in. It will continue, and then the weekly chart will start to come around, and then the weekly chart and the daily chart are going to be bullish for the rest of our lives. So yes, once things are going to be so great that Tesla turns around, we are going to see it first on the daily, and then because the daily is continuing for a long time, the weekly is also going to change. But right now, if we don't have that big news next week or in a couple of weeks, what should be happening, because this is the current trend. The current trend is this. So what should be happening is that the daily chart right now is bullish, the weekly is not, and then the daily chart is going to cave into 217, and the weekly chart will have stayed bearish all the time because the bullish trend on the daily, I'm trying to find ways of explaining it, because the bullish trend on the daily is going to be so short-lived that it won't have an impact on the weekly trend. Because next week we could be having this, and this might bring stochastic maybe at 29, and then the week after Tesla is going to cave in, and then stochastic is going to do this, and da 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 da. So, so yeah, this is the downtrend. This is what should be happening, and but I'm just saying that at some point in time, because Tesla is indeed a great company, they will change the mood of the people, and there is going to there is going to be a wave of buyers that is going to overflow everything for a long time, and that big flow is going to be seen on the 1 minute chart first. But everything we see on the 1 minute chart does not mean so every bullishness on the 1 minute chart does not mean that this is indeed happening. It does not mean that. I hope I'm being clear. Okay, so yeah, let's start looking at the other stocks. So Hector, I think you are new on this channel. So what would be a good place to set the stop loss for 215 calls May 17? 215 call. Okay. So yes, these lines can help us a lot place our, choose our options, expiry date and everything. So you are talking May 17th. So let's say, so May 17 right here. So this is where we are with May 17th approximately. So this is your expiry date. This is your expiry date to set a stop loss. Okay, a stop loss. Well, a stop loss. So we based our stop loss on the pattern that we are seeing. So right now your May 215 are out of the money because we are currently into, this is the bullish trend that we are into Tesla. So we are supposed to do this, but we are at the same time, we are into this congestion zone right here between 194.35 and 217.65. So right now I would put the stop loss where we put it when we entered at 194.35. I put it at 191.46, which was tested successfully on February 20th right here. So 191.46 is a decent support place. So meaning that if we go lower than 191.46, we could be going much lower than that. We could be going down to 180.38. So you might not want to suffer that one. So I think it's reasonable to suffer until 191.46. Okay, let me go to other stocks. So let's look at the weekly chart for stocks to see if we have a bullish trend on the weekly. It means that the daily should be going longer for a longer amount of time, and I think this is going to be useful. So VIX, when VIX is going down, the stock market is going up. So VIX is into a downtrend. So this is great for the stock market. So weekly chart, we still have bullishness in the stock market for weeks ahead. This is what we see. The 10-year bonds, they should be going down. They should be going down. They should be helping the stock market. Same for US dollar, because we don't have stochastic over 60. There's no bullishness in the US dollar, and when US dollar tends to go higher, the stock market tends to go lower, so we don't have it yet. So So we have the three indicators that are telling us that, you know, the stock market should be, you know, should be going fine. At some point it won't be, but it should be. So most of the time it should be going fine. Let's look at our stock indices. So the stock indices, you know, again, the same things are happening. I mean, this is a bullish trend. We have stochastic on the weekly chart, you know, super high at 97. And we are on, you know, we still are on the first half of the channel right here. This is the channel. We are on the first half of the channel, and we have bullishness right here. We have bullishness in S&P 500 also. This is, you know, it wants to go see the other side. You know, this is the main bullish channel. This is big. This is big because it goes from 2800 to 4000. This is a big channel. And now we are breaking this smaller channel right here, and we are starting to go on that second one right here. So, you know, S&P to 6000 is possible. It's possible. I mean, soon. I mean, if we continue at that rate, it's still possible. Then when it starts to go to 6000, then it might cave in, because it tends to cave in on because of this red line. It tends to cave in, and it caved in 2018, and it caved in 2021. So, you know, 3 years apart. I'm telling you, those lines last. So 3 years apart it caved in, and it might cave in at 6000 if we reach it reasonably soon this year. It can cave in. But right now, you know, right now everything is bullish here. Nasdaq also, everything is bullish. You know, we had the top right here at 16,000, and now it's continuing. So next stop is, you know, I can even see it. I need to remove this. You know, Nasdaq 20,000 Nasdaq. This is the next stop, if all else remains the same. And if we look at the EV stocks, BYD bearish. I will go fast because I'm mainly looking at the stochastic right here. Rivian also, no, there is no bullishness in Rivian. Xpeng on the weekly chart, this is not ready. This is not ready on the weekly chart. So what we are having as a buy impulse right here, you know, on Friday we had it. The same thing. We are not into a downward trend, and we are no longer into a congestion zone. We are breaking it. Boom. And we have stochastic over 60. Boom. This is so we have a buy impulse right here. So this one can be stopped at 10.56. So it might be just a short swing, but it's still there. But weekly chart wise, there's no bullishness in any EV stocks that we have seen so far, not even Tesla. NIO, no. Apple losing its bullishness on the weekly chart. So Apple might be coming down for a while. Amazon, bullish. You see it here? Amazon, bullish weekly. Google, no. So Google and Apple are falling out of favor. Meta, yes. Microsoft, yes. Nvidia, yeah, of course, yes. ARM, yes. So this bullishness on the weekly chart means that there was enough bullishness on the daily to change the weekly pattern. Palantir, yes. AMD, yes. And AMD, you know, this is a really nice pattern right here. You know, it stopped for several weeks, and now boom, we have what we call a buy impulse. So somebody told me about this. SMCI, you know, yeah, each candle is a week. Look at this. So the time to buy was right there at 372. After that week at 372, if you are buying on the weekly chart, so at 430, at 429, boom. So the same patterns are happening all the time, and we cannot catch all of them because we don't have enough money to buy everything that goes up. But yeah, still gold. Be ready for gold. Gold, we have bullishness on the weekly chart. We still have some resistance to break. So gold is going to be a super buy after 1654. Super buy. And if you want to chance it a little bit more, 1611 might be even enough, because we used to stop at 1611 right here in March in 2022. We used to stop at 1611. You see, we used to stop, and we stopped this week. But if we break it next week, then this is a buy. And yes, in theory, we could cave in at 1654, because 1654 was a seller frontier in 2020. So it's possible that we cave in here. So just be ready if you get in above 1611, that maybe you are going to be caved in here. But it's okay. You can sell if it goes lower than 1611. You can just sell, and that's it. But gold, gold is something that we need to watch, because with everything that's happening in the economy and the political realm, war, and maybe US is going to send some troops, or France is going to send some boots on the ground in Ukraine, so that can that can mess things up a lot. So in those uncertain times, gold tend to go up. So it's just interesting that it has just done so last week. So and in the stock market, the Magnificent Seven are doing super great, but I don't know if any other stocks are doing as great. So maybe there is going to be a reversal from the Magnificent Seven. If there's a third world war, yeah. Then of course the stock market is going to go crazy and things are going to come down, but we are going to see it as it happens, and we can just pull our chips out, and then we can look at gold and write gold instead. So we don't care. We don't care what we ride. I don't care. So gold, very close to be a buy. I said it Sunday, March 3rd. So you can look at this video. Silver is not yet ready. Bitcoin, yes, bullish. XRP, not yet. Stochastic is at 58, not yet. So Ripple is going to go more, or go for longer, a little bit longer, if we start breaking 64 cents. We have some resistance at 64 cents. This is where it stopped last week. And a few of other stocks that we're looking at. Neo Battery Material, no, bearish. Nouveau Monde Graphite. Okay, Nouveau Monde Graphite, I'm gonna call it even. Yes, there is no stochastic so far, but this one is caught into a congestion zone, so it could be zigzagging a little bit. And Novonix, yes, Novonix, this is a company that has worked with Tesla for the past 15 years. This one, they are making testing equipment for the Tesla battery cells. They have been working with Tesla for the past 10 years. They are unknown, but they are going to sell those battery testing equipments to, I assume, anybody. And we started to see some buy signal at 231, above 231, up, came down. So sometimes it's not that precise. I would prefer a stock to break a resistance and then shoot, but sometimes breaks it, comes back down a few times before continuing, and this is what's happening right here. Okay, so we have gone through all of our stock that we are looking at every single day of the week. So we are looking at everything that I've done here. Well, I do it a lot faster when it's weekdays because we only have to look at our lines. So we only have to look, okay, did we break a line? No, no, no. And if we break a line, it's a buy or a sell. Okay, boom. On Friday, we had a break here. Okay, we can, what is the opposite of forbid you? I give you permission to buy this one. No, I don't give you permission. Well, I give you permission to sell this one. I give you permission to short Apple. I give you permission to buy Amazon. See how fast it goes. Once you have your stakes in the ground, yes, I give you permission to buy Meta. No, I don't give you permission to buy Microsoft yet. Yes, well, this is a bit late, but it was a yes at some point. ARM, yes. You see? So we do that every single day of the week. So we see exactly when things are happening. We don't get caught. So let me go to the comments. What is your opinion on this? Yeah, my opinion on the future can only be characterized by the trends. So I don't know when Tesla is going to be outside of this downward trend. It started in November of 2021, and this is what has been happening ever since. So I don't know. I have no clue. I have no clue when it is going to break outside of it or just continue caving into it. I don't know. But what I can tell you is that once we start breaking outside of it, then you can take a look at your leap options, because then it's no longer going down. Of course, you would not be paying much right now because the premiums must be quite low. That's one aspect. But the best way to buy those leaps is when a stock has stopped going down. It's no longer going down, so it's outside of this. And when it has stopped going sideways, then you can say, okay, let's go. And after it has started a pattern, then we can project in the future. But right now I cannot project Tesla going up because it's going down. I cannot project it. But when it starts to go higher, then it is going to tell us and give us a rate of ascent. Right now we don't have a rate of ascent, we have a rate of descent. Let me see if we cannot okay, this was the 12-month. Let me see if we cannot go yeah, no, sorry, I was going to try to give you more information here, but this is where we are at. If we start breaking 414, then this is going to mean that we are no longer into this huge congestion zone between 100 bucks and 415. But no, sorry, I cannot say. It's I cannot say. Are we still in the downtrend for Tesla? Well, depending on the time frame you are looking at. If you are looking at making money in the next week or 2 or 3, we are into a bullish trend right here. But if you want to hold for longer than just a couple of weeks, we are still into a downtrend. And if you want to hold for years, yes, we are still into a downtrend. So that's not a good idea to enter right now. If rates go down and you see certain levels, when are we in an up? Okay. So, okay, I don't know when it is going to happen, but once the interest rates come down, okay, but I need to make a hypothetical scenario. This is the big downtrend. So we need to break this big downward resistance right here. We need to break that. So depending on when we are breaking it, we are talking about 245 or higher than 218 or higher than 207. You catch my drift. Depending on when we are breaking it, it gets lower and lower with time. So time is important. So I cannot give you a number now, but I can tell you this is the line that you want to watch. And also, yeah, I have a membership, a subscription on YouTube where you can copy those lines into your TradingView account. So you can check it out. You pay a certain number each month and you get my lines on your account. So we are going to need to break this downward resistance, and let's say that we break it very soon. Let's say that we break it in April. Then I will consider 265.32 the congestion zone we could get stuck under. I will consider that one, and a break of 265.32 will be considered a buy for Tesla, because it's no longer into the big downtrend it has been under, and it has stopped going sideways, and it started to go higher. So we are maximizing the chance that this is continuing. So if the break happens in April, I'm gonna say 265.32 as the bullish buy. You can buy before for swings, but the real bullish buy for investors, let's say, they can buy after that point. If we break it lower here, if we break it here in January of next year, then I'm gonna consider the next congestion zone at 217.65 as the indication that we are no longer going sideways after having no longer going down. But I cannot predict the future. I don't know when this is going to happen, but we are going to see on the present when it happens. We are going to see it, but we don't know when in the future. The word when is maybe not precise enough. Okay, so we are getting down to getting late. What do you think of NVIDIA? NVIDIA, I can only do trends. I'm looking at trends. And right now, let me look at, I don't know if it is going to continue, but I'm telling you this is a bullish trend. And let me try to help you a little bit more. So this is the current trend we are in. Now it's pretty easy to see. You see here, okay, this should be red. You see here, this line was used as support. It was used as support, then boom, it was used as resistance right here. It was used as resistance right here, resistance. So this is the rate of ascent of NVIDIA. That's the only thing I can tell you. This is the rate of ascent. So you can calculate with time what is the increase in stock price. And once we are going to break this line here, this is no longer going to be true. It was true. It has been true since January of this year. So this is the current rate of ascent. When we find a stock that stopped going down, then stopped going sideways, then starting to go up, we can buy at that point. This is a buy, and we have a lot of probability that it is going to continue because it stopped going sideways, it stopped going downward, it stopped going down, it stopped going sideways, it's starting to go higher. We have a high probability that it's going to continue. Once a stock has been going higher and higher a long time, then we don't have a change in pattern to tell us that there's a significant change in the market. There's no change in the market. This is a continuation pattern. It continues, and nobody can say how long it is going to continue. We can say we can identify what needs to happen for it to tell us that it stopped continuing. It's not because we had 3 green candles here, so 3 green days, that we can say, oh, the pattern has stopped. No. The pattern does not stop because we have red candles. Red candles are normal. So our lines are telling us, it is our lines that are telling us that, okay, the rate of ascent has stopped now. It's not the candles that are telling us. You are so right, YZ. There is nothing free in this world. Yeah. I totally agree with you. This is why we are not all billionaires, because it's not easy. So you are so right. So Tesla leaps, you can buy them now because they are cheap, and you are taking a chance that Tesla continues to go down for the next 3 years, or you are waiting for Tesla to stop going down, stop going sideways, or even stop going down. You have way more chance that Tesla is that your leaps are going to be worth more if Tesla stops going down and start going sideways. So you are trading a higher entry price. You are trading higher leap options premium when you acquire for a less risky outcome. So it's all trade-offs. Yeah, rate of descent. Yeah. Lower interest rates does not mean markets will go up. As a matter of fact, last year, markets have come down. Well, sure. So, yeah, I don't disagree. Sure. We are basing our buying and selling decisions on what's happening in the stock price. Boom, that's it. I don't buy because interest rates are going lower. If the fact that interest rates are going lower makes it that the stock market goes higher, or there's another factor, to tell you the truth, I don't really care what makes the stock go higher. If it breaks a pattern, then I'm happy. Palantir, I'm going to finish the comments and then I'm going to end this live. This has been great though. This has been fantastic. So Palantir, okay. Palantir is currently into a congestion zone. So it should continue to go sideways because we have an equilibrium between the buyers and sellers. The tug of war is in balance. You can enter right now, but then the stock can go higher or go lower. If you want to increase your chance that you are right, you wait for 25.52. If we break 25.52, this is going to indicate to us that the equilibrium is being broken in favor of the buyers. So that's an entry point that has more chance of working. but as I say on this channel, you can buy at any point in time. What I am telling you will increase your chance that the position you get in will make you money. So great. So I think we have yeah, we have gone just a little bit over 1 hour. This is fantastic. This has been a lot of fun. I like doing these public lives because yeah, this is, you know, I like interacting with you guys. So thank you for commenting and asking questions in the comment section. So you can follow me every single day of the week. We are basically looking at how the stocks and some indicators are doing based on the patterns they told us they should be following, and we are here to spot the changes in those patterns, and then I call them out. I call those changes out, and then you can decide to hop on, buy or sell. You are making your own, you are doing your own research, or at least making your own decision, and that's it. That's all. So join me every single day. So I'm gonna thank you again, wish you a great rest of your weekend, and I'm gonna tell you à la prochaine.